Last week, we discussed the message Sarm pai narayane nanak dar paiya Pok sukhanda sarv sukh jis bakshe ve parvah. When a seeker decides to seek his blessing and surrenders to him without any condition, expectation, then his sincerity is always honored. Sarmapai Narayane. Narayan means the creator. Sarv means he honors. What does he honor? Nanak dar paiya, those who surrender to him. Because he is not biased. In his eyes, there is no favored son or unfavored son. That is a human concept. That is not a mystical concept. In mysticism, there is no distinction of any kind. And I mean any kind. It is a false notion that in the eyes of the Creator, some creations are small and some creations are better. No creations are just creations, that is it. There is no label on them. We as human can say, somebody can say I like cat, somebody can say no I don't like cat, I like dog. But since both are his creation, cat and dog are both equal in his eyes, man and woman are both equal in his eyes, it's amazing to me. Very recently, I was watching a very old movie called 55 Days in Peking. And the ambassador from England is being played by David Niven. And the movie is about the Boxer Revolution in China in the early 1900s. And the Chinese Empress orders all foreign embassies to leave China. And England refuses to leave. And the reason that scene kind of got stuck in my head, that the French ambassador turns around to the world and say, by looking at how George behaved to this crisis, I am convinced that the God is an Englishman. He is a Britisher. Even in so-called scientifically evolved stage of existence, we like to put these labels on ourselves and the Creator. I can assure you, God is neither an Englishman, nor a Muslim, nor a Sikh, nor a Hindu, nor a Bodhi, nor a Christian, nor a Jew. You cannot assign any human attribute to the creative energy, positive or negative. It's just supreme. You can't even say it is all loving, because the moment you say it is all loving, that means there is a hating also. Because love does not exist without the hate. When you tell me I am good, without using the word, you have already called somebody bad. Otherwise, somebody can ask you, he is good with respect to what? Then you'll be forced to say, as compared to so and so, or this type of a habit, he is better. But you can't do that with God, because God has no equal to compare with. There is only one. If there was a second, you could compare with the second, but there is only one. So you cannot assign any characteristic. He is neither loving nor hating, nor rewarding nor punishing. He is that he is. That's it. When you, with that mindset, surrender to him, then what happens? Poh sohanda sarva sukh jis bakshe ve parva. Then all of his blessings start touching you. They start affecting you. Your life starts revolutionizing. The creative energy does not come slowly. It comes as a bolt of lightning. The false energy always creeps in on you. It comes very slowly. Those of you remember the parable of raising a cat. Remember that parable? Let me briefly give you the outline of that parable. What is the message in that? A Sufi saint is on his deathbed. His disciples are all surrounding him and saying, "What is your last message?" And he said, "I have no last message, but my master had it. So I'll give you his message." Now it catches everybody's attention. Message from the master of a master. So everybody is quiet and say, "What is the message? Don't ever raise a cat." And everybody is stunned. What kind of nonsense is this? Where is the spirituality in "don't raise a cat"? And he says, "Hold it. Don't get paranoid. My master did not have the time. He gave me the message and passed away. Now I am passing away and his message has become clear to me now. What he wanted to say. That's why it is important for me to explain it to you. When he died, I was the chief disciple, so I got this temple. So the way he had taught me, I continued my practice. I only had 200 years. I'll wash one, let it dry, and then wear the other one. Slowly in that hut, mice came. And they were every time I'm hanging this thing to dry, they will chop it off. I went to the village elders and said, "I have a problem. Can you make a few dozen underwear for me?" And they said, "That's not the right solution. We'll give you the right solution." What is your right solution? We'll give you a cat. Cat will eat the mice. You will never need the another underwear. He said, "Okay." He brought the cat. After a few days, Cat finished all the mouse. Now she can't catch anything, so she is going hungry. And it says it started bothering me. I can't concentrate on my meditation. I have an animal in my hut and the animal is dying of hunger. So I went back to the same elder and said, you didn't solve the problem. You just postponed it. Now what do I do with a cat? There's not enough mouse for it. They said, no problem, we'll solve that problem too. We kill you a cow. You milk the cow, feed the cat, and if the mouse comes, she will always prefer the mouse first. Whatever excess milk is, you can drink it yourself. Problem solved. Now, as the evening came, he is full, the cat is full, but the cow is hungry. And he went back to them and said, you didn't solve the problem. What do I feed the cow? Don't worry about it. All the land surrounding your temple, nobody uses it. We give you the permission, you start tilling the land, raising the grass and the food for the cow. Cow gives the milk, feeds the cat, you take the excess, problem solved. So now, instead of meditating, he is getting up early in the morning with the plow in the fields and putting the seed and tending to the field and taking the roots out, watering the field and all that, and there is no more time left for meditation. He goes back to them. That doesn't solve my problem. I can't meditate anymore. Now I'm busy taking care of the field, taking care of the animals, taking care of my hut. They said, no problem. We'll solve that too. There is a young girl in the village who just got widowed and nobody wants her. We'll send that widow to you. She'll take care of the fields and she'll take care of the animals and you continue meditating. As the widow comes in, starts doing the work slowly, the emotion starts evolving. He's getting confused. All of a sudden, the elders come back to him and say, you know, everybody in the village is talking. Why don't you get married? Make it illegal. Now he's with the family, children, and the wife, and he is ready to die. And he said, now I understand what my master said. One cat brought the entire world inside. Because the world always creeps on you slowly. You don't know. That's creeping upon you. When you started your business, how much did you think you are going to be spending time with it? And now, you bring the paperwork home, take it into your bedroom, making telephone calls to the vendors and the suppliers before going to sleep. Did you have to bargain for that? But they creep in. And then if somebody says, Quresh, why don't you get rid of this nonsense? What would be the normal response? I want to get rid of it, but how? Now it is catching me, I am not catching it. That's not the process with the ultimate creator. If you want to stay connected with the ultimate creator, watch out buying the first cat. It will slowly push you away from him and replace it with everything to have to do with the outside. Everything. There are mothers sitting here. You tell me, as a young woman, did any woman think of the amount of work that's required to raise a child? Single one has any idea? At that time, marriage was a very happy occasion. Having a child was also a very happy occasion. But now 2 o'clock feeding time, who should be getting up? Get up, get up. No, 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 you get up, you get up. Let him cry. Did anybody envision that? Who's bringing this? These are the creeping things that walk into your life without you being aware of the details. But the creativity, the creator will not catch you slowly and you suddenly find I'm so deep into it. It will create a lightning inside you and suddenly you would not see the world the same way again. If you get that type of a mindset, then what happens? Pokh sohanda sab sukh jis bakshe ve parwa. If you are in touch with him, then everything, sarv sukh, everything starts falling into place. And when that falls into place, now you need to watch yourself that you don't slip over again. You will try to make everything a routine. You would want the mind to go to sleep again. Just like you are the most alert driver when you just learned it. And after a couple of years, you become so overconfident, you start ignoring everything what you're doing. You don't pay attention to the sign. Tells that light comes from, did you see you just went through the stop sign? Where? I didn't see it. Come, I'll show you where it was. What has happened to us? We have tried to put everything on the autopilot. I don't want to be bothered with it. But the meditation and mysticism is all becoming more and more alert, not going to sleep, not making it a habit pattern. It should be revealing new things every day for the rest of your life. Nothing should repeat. That means you are on an evolutionary scale. If it has become repetitious, mechanical, monotonous, then you have slipped away. And when it slips away, what happens? The next hymn. Maagh majan kar saaDhoo-aa Dhoorhee kar isnaan. Maagh. It's the name of a festival, Maagh. Festival of Maagh is very considered holy. People go to holy places to take bath on that special day. And Gurbani says, this is what's going to happen to you. Majan means to take a dip. But dip in what? What was the dip that you were taught? Your process was to stay immersed in the memory of his name. But what would be your tendency? You will be taking dip into the waters outside. So you need to be careful about that. You need to guard against that tendency to let it become automatic. So how do I guard it? How do I not fall in that trap? And the answer is Maagh majan sang saaDhoo-aa. If you are going to go into a festival, what we call a mili-aa, yeah, right? Crowd gets together, carnivals are set up and all that. In our language the word is mela. I don't know if there is a other word in English other than festival of some sort, celebration of some sort.
Picnics.
Carnivals or get sets, picnics, etc. So if you are going to do that, don't forget your company. What type of company are you going to be on picnic with? And the answer is majan, majan, sang, saaDhoo-aa. Sadhu, the one who's doing sadhana, one who's merged into his practice, his discipline. Stay in touch with that. Don't look for the artificial sadhus outside. Stay in the company of those who are into sadhana, who are into practice. Practice of what? Taking a daily dip or taking a daily bath or a shower, is that what the majan means? They say, no. Dhoorhee ka isnaan. What is dhoorhee? Literally translated, dhoorhee means the dust. What dust? How can you bathe in dust? See what a metaphor it is and how complex it is. 5 namaz actually meant dhoorhee ka isnaan. Become dust with the dust. Become like dust. Develop the qualities of dust. A regular namazi should be able to kill the ego in the shortest possible time available to humanity. Because he is remembering, I am your dust. I am your dust. 25 times a day. If I am just dust, how can we be egotistical? How can I claim I am the best? I am so best that there is never ever going to be anything like it again. How can I claim that if I am just dust? The best possible means of meditation turned into the most egotistical system in the entire consciousness history. And we are being reminded here. Dhoorhee ka isnaan. Become dust. Dhoorhee means become dust. So much so that every cell of your body should know that. Right? When we take a shower or take a bath, every cell of our skin is dipped into the water. And the metaphor is, your consciousness should be dipped into the dust of his memory. And when you are in that state of mind, har ka naam Dhi-aa-ay sun sabhnaa no kar daan. Har ka naam, his name. Dhi-aa-ay. Say it. Sun. Hear it yourself. And then sabhnaa no kar daan. Then share it with everybody. Don't make it a personal property. Don't be shy of sharing it. You say, what are you doing? Come sit down. I'll teach you. You can do it too. No, but first explain me. Fine. I am meditating with the technique of saying and listening myself so that mind does not run out. Very simple explanation. I am not saying it for somebody else to hear. And I am not worried if somebody is annoyed with it, angry with it, happy with it, sad with it, I don't care. I'm saying it for myself. And I'm listening it myself. If it is bothering anybody, you can stay away from that time. Har ka naam Dhi-aa-ay sun. Remember his name in such a way that you are listening to it yourself. Because that is the only way the mind will stop wandering. Mind can do only one thing at a time. Either it can listen or it can talk. It can do both. So if mind is chattering inside, this thought coming, that thought coming from everywhere, tell the mind, come here, come here, come here. Listen to just what I just said. And say, no, I don't want to listen to, I'm going to go over there. No, not for this time period. Come back. Like a old naughty child, stubborn child, it will try to run, and your job is to bring it back. Not with the anger, not with frustration, not with desperation, but lovingly. Yeah, I know you want to play. I know you want to play. But come back. Sit down here for just these few minutes. No, I'm not angry with you. No, I'm not going to punish you if you keep running. I'll keep bringing you back. But I promise you, you are going to lose this battle. I'm going to win. I am determined to teach you how to be quiet for few moments out of the 24 hours of my life. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to train you. Nobody has done that before for me. Now I take that responsibility on myself. The maximum clapping that came to Yusuf Malala's lecture in UNO today was when she said, the women are too comfortable with letting men to speak for themselves. The time has come that we start speaking for ourselves. The whole of the hall went nuts. A 16-year-old girl saying that to the entire world. Look at the challenge. Say, I'm holding you responsible for staying quiet. Pay the price of speaking up. That's okay. What will somebody beat you up? That's okay. Somebody will shoot you? That's okay. But you speak for yourself. Have that courage. Demand your rights as equal creation of Allah. What an aspiring words. You claim your right from your naughty mind. You are my servant, not my master, and I'm going to teach you some manners. When I tell you to sit down and listen, you got to sit down and listen. Then this normal excuse, yeah, I sit down, but the mind runs away. Mind is not my control. What should I do? Become more naughtier than your mind. Every time he runs out, bring it back every time. I promise you, sooner or later it will get the message and it won't go running out all the time. Har ka naam Dhi-aa-ay sun. The difference between majority of the meditations in the world and the meditation that we are teaching you here is this. We take a karam-indriya, which is our tongue, a gyan-indriya, which is our listening, and we join them together. They work together. You leave anyone the mouth will keep on saying Om, 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 Allah, 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 Ram, Ram, Ram. It won't matter. And the mind will be thinking of what's happening in Kabul right now. When am I flying? Is my interview going to be successful? What do? Do I go alone? It will start getting those questions. And it will shake you. What's going on? I just sat down to do meditation. Where this monkey raising these questions? I'm not sitting here to think about that problem right now. Right now, I just want him to be quiet. And the only way to make it quiet is bring it back. Explicitly order it. Say it loud. Come back. Not there. In here. Unless you apply this technique, it can take you lifetime to quiet your mind. You can ask anybody in any disciplines, and I have gone through most of them. They only tell you to do one thing at a time. Breathe. Okay, I'm breathing. Breathing is automatic. I don't have to do anything. Okay. Watch your breath. Alright, I'm watching. So, I am looking at the tip of my nose and the mind is saying, what the hell are you doing? Now, how do I tell him to don't ask that question? The only way to tell him to don't ask that question is to say, listen to what I just said. What did I just say? Oh, you said Vaheguru. No. I want you to keep in mind when the Va was formed, when the He was formed, when the Ga was formed, when the Ra was formed. You just keep attention to those. Tell me when those syllables were formed inside me. I want your attention focused so much. Tell me, if I'm saying Ram, 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 tell me where is the R form? Are you aware? At that time, inside should say Ra. The tip of the tongue just touch on the back of the tooth, right near the gum. Mind is watching R. There is the Ra being formed. If it doesn't know that, then it's thinking of something else. That attention needs to start becoming so refined and refined. If you are just noticing Va, then you will break it into two and say Va and A. These are two sounds. Va, Va with the lips and A with the open throat. Then the listener inside will watch that. It knows Ha, which is the H. But there is another slight sound called He. Where did that come from? It will know Ga, the G, but it is Gu, not Ga. Where is this U came from? See where I am going with it? You start breaking these harmonics, finer things, and the mind goes along with it. Har ka naam Dhi-aa-ay sun. So I'm re-explaining you the theory and concept behind the meditation that has been given to you here. What is the importance of this? So when you ask me, well, can I do that when I'm driving? Ask yourself, can you pay that much attention to the world while you're driving? Some of the attention is required for a driver. You can keep your practice up, but not to that intensity. For that intensity, you will have to sit down and withdraw the whole thinking process from everything else and just focus on two words. Dhi-aa-ay sun. Har ka naam Dhi-aa-ay sun. Dhi-aa-ay means to say it, sun means to listen it. And then sabhnaa nu karna. Give it away to everybody. Whosoever wants it, Don't make it a business. Don't charge anything for it. Don't turn it into a money-making machine. Just give it away. It's not yours. You did not invent it. You did not create it. It did not come to you from above. It came to you from your master. It belongs to him. You have no right to charge about it. But what do? We go to a library, pull 10 books, put it on the table, one page from this book, one page from this book, one page from the book, create a new pamphlet and say, authored by Yaswant Singh. Then I take to the professor and say, give me a PhD. And what is that PhD? Cut and paste from everywhere else. And then I publish a book. Put a $50 price on the book and then go on a books promotion tour. That's the name of game in this country. And why should I make money out of it? Because it is not yours. You can't sell these things. If you are aware of these subtleties, here is a reward for you. Janam, karam, mili-aa, manate, jaa-ay, gumaan. Gumaan means ego. Janam means the birth. Karam means the theory of karma, action and reaction. And she said, Janam, karam, mili-aa. Mal means the dirt, the dust, something getting dirty. The dirt of karma will not touch you then. Why? Because you are now following the path of manate, jaa-ay, gumaan. Gumaan means the ego. Your own ego, because you are saying it's not mine, you are giving it away. I don't deserve anything from you, even in a kind. I don't want to barter anything for you. Because you are working on the path of egolessness, karma automatically drops. Then cause and effect would not catch you. And when the ego goes down, look how everything else falls. Kaam, karoDh, naam, mohee-ai, binsai, lobh, su-aan. Kaam, desires. KaroDh, anger. Mohee-ai, attachments. You don't get attached to either the anger or the desires. Because now you understand anything from the basic needs of survival, everything else is a desire. You don't need to argue about it. You don't need to struggle about it. Is this my need or not? Anything other than the basic needs. What are the 3 basic needs of human? Right? Theory of survival tell you. Food for your stomach, clothes for your body, shelter for your head. And that's it. Everything else is a desire. Now wait a minute. You mean car is not my need? Not really. Communication has been given to you. Your 2 legs will take you anywhere you want to go. That's what the people did. Only 100 years ago. These are the conveniences. They are not the necessities. So you can look at anything in your house. You mean fridge is not my need? Not really. Get up in the morning, go get a fresh bread and fresh fruit and fresh vegetables, fresh milk, you're done. You don't need to save anything, you don't need to store anything. Oh, you mean I have to run every day? That's what we used to do. Slowly, slowly, you start peeling the layers of onion one at a time, and you start seeing how much we have collected just in the name of need. I have gone through this process gazillion times in my life. You go to a store, your wife stands by a rack. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just looking. What do you mean you are just looking? Oh, there may be a deal here somewhere. Okay. So if there is a deal, what are you going to do? I'll buy it. Do you need it? Or it's possible. It's a living, breathing household. Sometimes these things are needed. Bring them, hang them in the closet, and now comes the time on a Saturday night somebody says, would you come over for dinner? Would you be ready? I need to go to the store first. Why? I have nothing to give. What are those who just bought just in case I need it? If it is all just in case hanging over there, and the just in time is going to be bought the day, where was you thinking when you were buying the just in case? Oh, you know, I bought it 6 months ago. Now the season has changed. Nobody is wearing these, and people are going to laugh at me. So what are you going to do? Are you going to give it away to somebody? No, I'll take it to India. Now, 3 years later, you take it to India, and everybody in India is asking you, where the hell have you been? This thing went away 5 years ago. You are bringing these things to us now. Because they are keeping up with the latest fashion just as we are. You better not take any jeans of last year to Afghanistan, they will laugh at you. They know the latest model now. Into that. Constantly. If you are into that mode, then this thing cannot happen. Janam, karam, utrai, jaa-ay, gumaan. Then your gumaan is still there. Then your ego is still there. Then your desires are still there. I never understood the quotation from American culture. When man catches nothing, he says, I went fishing. And when a woman spends 5 hours shopping and buying nothing, they say, we went shopping. Oh, that was just a window shopping. Get rid of those desires. They are not getting closer to Him, and you are making the time investment into something that's not bringing anything to you. And if you are on that path, then kaam, karoDh, naam, mohee-ai, binsai, lobh, su-aan. Lobh, greed. Su-aan means dog. The most dangerous weakness for the dog is the greed. A dog never says, I am done. You have to restrict how much food you give. A dog will never say, you bring more, keep on eating. Sachai maarag chaldi-aa, ustat karay, jahaan. If you are on that path, you don't have to worry about the world. World knows it, you are changing your life. Initially they might react to you. But eventually they see that you're doing good to yourself, then by the same definition, the outer environment is also getting affected. That's also changing. Athsath tirath sagalpon jee-a daya parvan. All of the spiritual, mystical, religious places in the world. Tirath means the mystical, religious place. Visiting all of them will not get you the reward that you will get by just sitting at home and focusing on Him. Now what to do if you are ordered at least once a year, get out of your home and visit such and such place and do such and such thing. God is everywhere, all the time. Don't limit Him. Don't just come, bring Him and put Him down on a seat and say, this is it. Jews did the same thing. What is the Ark of Covenant? They make it temple, put the Ark of Covenant there. That's God's word. And as means, here's the promise to the God. It is mind-boggling when I look at this. Moses comes down the mountain with a commandment, thou shalt not kill. And what does he do first? What is that story? He takes the same tablet and throws it on the top of the people's to kill them because they disobeyed. I guess he was not very confident of the accuracy of the commandment that he brought down. Not only that, then Moses himself comes and tells Joshua that the city of Canaan belongs to you, and anybody who resists you, kill them. Even though the engraved words are, thou shalt not kill. The engraved words for the Jews were, thou shalt not covet some other women, and the first child that is born out of the slave girl to Abraham. Right? Did I read it correctly? Sarah did not produce the child. So what happened then? Covered the other woman. Because you need a child. It's the same God of Abraham. We are making mockery of the creation, the Creator, and the human life. We need to rise above. Free ourselves of these dogmas and paradigms perpetuated as a truth, which are actually absolute lies. You get on the true path, which sachai maarag chaldi-aa. Sacha means the true. There is only one test for the truth. There is only one truth. He is, He was, He shall be. That's the only truth. Nothing else. Then you don't have to worry about the world. And you don't have to worry about any rituals of going to various athsath tirath sagalpon jee-a parvan jisnu deve daya kar soi purkh sujan. If you become worthy of His grace and recognize the true path, identify the true path, and start walking on it, that is the true wisdom. That is the true holiness. Jinna mili-aa prabh apna, nanak tin qurban, Maagh suche se kaaNdhee-ah jin pura gur meherwan. Jinna mili-aa prabh apna. Those who have been able to experience Him from within, they deserve all the accolades. The truthful are those who have been blessed by Him, and He has actualized Himself within them. Show them the real path, show them the truth, and that is hymn on 136 is the last but one in the series. Next week we'll wrap the series up. So we'll take a pause here. Thank you all for coming. If there is any comment or questions, the lines are open.